Ape Yacht Club, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Bored Ape Yacht Club. I'm your host, Philip Kalinko. Next to me is Morland Mount, and this is the NFT show.
Ape
Freestyle Friday.
and Ape Token.
Ape
Lots of
Token,
Ape
my brother.
Token. Yeah. Happy Friday.
Yeah.
Happy
Happy Friday
Friday.
to you too. Yes, another long week, hey?
Yep. Yeah, but a lot happening too. A lot
A
going on
lot,
in the
a lot
NFT
going
world.
on. Let's jump into it. I mean, let's just have a look. I'd like to start on OpenSea daily volume. So we had a great pump yesterday as a result of this Ape token. We're going to talk about the Ape token, explain why so many people had so much liquidity yesterday, and a lot of them ended up just buying straight back into NFTs. So we saw yesterday's trading volume at 132 million compared to 79 million the day before and 62 million the day before. And we can see today already at 96 million. There's still about 8 hours to go. And then we got the weekend, which is always bullish for NFTs. So, Morland, this could be the turnaround of the bear market and the beginning of the bull market, you know.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of money floating out there that wasn't before. That was a nice little airdrop for anyone that is involved in the Bored Ape ecosystem. I think
For sure.
even dog holders, if you had like a dog and a mutant, a dog and an ape, that counted
Yep.
towards more like a multiplier or something of some kind, like you got even more.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Incredible. But
Crazy.
you remember when we were in that bear market last year, 2021, the event that really pushed it was the SOS token airdrop.
Mm.
That's what started that bull market. Now, obviously, there are a lot more people were able to get, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting. We still have a messed up world at the moment. But yeah, interesting. We've seen a recovery on Ethereum, close to $3,000, which is quite incredible, up 5% on the day, after up another 5% on top of that, which is great. And then we see this Ape token at 2x what Philip sold it at. That's the barometer.
What do you have it on here? Is this the daily or sorry, the
No,
hourly, the hourly candle?
when you trading like I trade,
Oh,
you
the
have it
one
on
minute. The 1
1 minute
minute. Oh,
candles.
okay. Okay.
um, because I mean, look, there is definitely a case to be made if you know what you're doing, which I do not. There is a case to be made in buying the dips and selling just sitting here and just buying and selling if you've got the
With
right tools.
trading the ape
On
token.
Yeah, because the bottom line is that the fluctuations from minute to minute or hour to hour are 20%. So honestly, if you've got the right tools to buy quickly, like I know how to do it with NFTs, I don't know how to do it with token, but there is definitely opportunity here. There's no question whatsoever.
Yeah,
So let's
let's
talk
talk.
about it,
Yeah,
Morland.
why not? I mean,
All right.
it's exciting.
So
I
so
think it's
for everyone who doesn't know, you've got the Bored Ape Yacht Club ecosystem, and this is where it all started. It all started with Bored Apes. They were minted 11 months ago at 0.08 Ethereum. They struggled to sell out, okay? And they are now sitting at a 93 Ethereum floor. If you did buy one quite early on, you got airdropped a Bored Ape Kennel Club, which was given to you free of charge. You didn't have to pay for it. And that is now sitting at a 7.8 Ethereum floor. On top of that, if you were a Bored Ape holder, you were able to mint a mutant ape. And that mutant ape didn't cost you very much at all. And now it is sitting at 19 Ethereum. So if you just add together just the NFT value for a 0.08 investment, Ethereum investment, 11 months ago, you've got 93 plus 20, let's just call it to make it easier for me, 113 plus 7 to equal out that other one. You've turned 0.08 ETH into 120 ETH. Now, if that wasn't enough, if you had bought your ape and you still held it today and were holding a kennel and were holding a mutant at the time of the drop yesterday, the airdrop yesterday, at yesterday's price of $7, you would have gotten $75,000 airdrop to you, or claimed. You could have claimed $75,000 in ApeCoin at $7. And if you had held on to that for 24 hours, that would be $140,000 for owning one mutant, one bored ape, and one kennel. Okay. There's people that do not make that in 5 years as a salary, that you just got on top of your 120 ETH holding that cost you next to nothing. Morland, I swear to God, I don't know that there is a better investment in the history of the world than being able to take $300 and turn it into literally $1 million, pretty much.
Unless you got into Bitcoin super early,
I'm telling you, even so, this is just incredible. This is just incredible.
And the fact that what it's being used for, like, people can joke and say it's just a meme token, but this is $1 billion, $5 billion business. Like this coin is used for everything within that entire ecosystem. There's a solid use case here that, say Dogecoin, or even worse, Shiba Inu coin doesn't have, right? So, like, honestly, it's sort of not financial advice or anything, but it's kind of an attractive investment. Like, I don't know. I might mess around and buy some when I'm
look.
when
I
it's
think
available.
there's a couple things that are very, very important to understand. Coins like this, tokens, do not follow logic. That's number one. I think that's very important to understand, because, as you said, Dogecoin, with the amount of coins in circulation and the price, is valued at $15 billion currently, which makes absolutely no sense. So I was taking quite a sensical approach to this. And we do know that Bored Ape recently raised money at a $5 billion valuation. So there were very reputable investors, and 3 separate investors valued the Bored Ape ecosystem at $5 billion. Now, with the token, you've got 1 billion tokens that will be in circulation. Currently, you've got 120 million in circulation. But at the end of this, and we'll go through everything, you're going to have 1 billion tokens. If you take it at a price of $5, that's a 5 billion valuation, which is where I was sort of expecting it to be. So when I could get out at 7 billion valuation, or 7.2 billion valuation, I thought that was a good price for something that recently has been valued at 5 billion, forgetting that there's no logic to this. Now, the other thing that's important to realize about buying in now, Moreland, is that there's only currently 130 million Ape tokens in circulation.
Yeah.
To buy in, I would rather have 1 billion in circulation, so there's more supply, and that will drive the price down, because the way that they've launched this token, so you can see here 150 million tokens are going to Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Ape Yacht Club holders. That's all that we're seeing at the moment. Is there's still 20 million tokens yet to be claimed, and 130 million have been claimed. That's all that's out there at the moment. But then on top of that, there's going to be 500 million, 470 million gone to the DAO Treasury and resources. So that's not going to be sold, and they have a locking clause of 1 year. So that's not going to be sold, even though it's going to be released. But then you've got some going to charity, and then you've got 24% in total going to the Bored Ape Yacht Club founders and to Yuga Labs. Now, they're saying that for this 16%, there's that initial lockup of 12 months. And for the 8% also, there's an initial lockup of 12 months. And I just want to see here, token up front. So here, some of it is also quite locked up. And this is, they're going to unlock 7 million a month. Okay, so you're not going to turn on and see. You might see them out there, but they're not going to be traded. These are pretty locked up for a while. All right. So look, I mean, it's very, see, it's gone down now. Now you start to worry if you're holding Ape, which neither of us are, because I, like an idiot, sold out at 7, but it's now going down. My whatever 12
Yeah,
ETH for my mutant is now 11 ETH for my mutant, right?
I'd be holding to see where it goes in the long run anyways. I wouldn't be trying to personally
So,
wouldn't be trying to
so
flip
I'm
it. I
very
just
bullish.
believe in the Bored
Yeah.
Ape
Well,
ecosystem,
look what they've
Yuga
achieved.
Labs, and
Yeah.
I mean personally I'm not right now not able to get in on any of the other NFTs, so this is my opportunity to get in on a little
Yeah.
piece of that pie. And I
I agree.
think it's
I
worthwhile, whether it's at this, like, I don't know what the right price is. It literally launched yesterday. This could be,
I
it
would
could,
let the dust settle.
yeah,
You could lose
exactly.
out, but you could also, it could settle down. There's a lot of hype at the
Yeah.
moment. There's already been interesting news. There's already been one in real life company that said that you can purchase property from their company. I think the company's called 11 in America. You can purchase property using ApeCoin. So that's going to be incredibly interesting. Because imagine tomorrow if Elon Musk from Tesla says you can use ApeCoin, and then every other company starts saying you can use ApeCoin. This could go to the moon from that perspective. That's number
Yeah.
one. Right. Number two is, if you doubted whether these guys can deliver, you just have to look at the first 5 minutes of the show. If you invested 0.08 Ethereum with these guys 11 months ago, you have got $1 million today. Okay, so I agree with you. I think I don't know why the hell I sold. I do. I panicked. I bloody panicked. I saw it going
You
down. I was
saw,
expecting
yeah.
5. So that's the distribution, which is quite interesting. Yeah, I mean, so they're saying here, 100. I do recommend everyone go to apecoin.com who's interested in this and read this properly. But there will be 117 million tokens released of this 470 million. So we're still waiting to see 300 million that are tradable on the market. So there is still going to be supply coming. Typically, we do see these things hype and then up and down, and then settle somewhere. Where that somewhere is, no one can tell you. It could go to 40 tomorrow and then down to 30 and 40, 30 and settle at 35. Who knows? Nobody knows, right? But this is exciting. I'm telling you, this is incredible.
It was interesting to see what happened with the actual apes. Like, they pumped to, like, what, over 100 ETH.
106.
106. They pumped. Mutants pumped to over 20, close to 25, I think, right?
Yeah.
And even the Kennel Club pumped. And
Yeah.
then right after everyone got their coin, it dumped. It was funny.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see. But, like, you could have been trading apes or
Yeah. So look at
trading Kennel Clubs for the
yeah,
last little bit
for
too, and
sure.
making money.
But I mean, look here how it's recovered. So you're 100% right. It went all the way up to 106 Ethereum as a floor price, straight after the launch of the token. Like pretty much within an hour, dipped to 65 Ethereum, which is what it was about a week ago. Anyway, before the Yuga Labs, Lava Labs thing came out, and which we'll talk about, they were about 65. That's where they had gone down to. Went all the way down to 65-ish again, maybe 70. I don't remember exactly. And now sitting beautifully back at 93, which is very healthy recovery so quickly. And as you said, I saw these guys low as 15 ETH. Would have been a great opportunity to snipe. And now they're back at 19. And Bored Ape Kennel, I saw them at 6. They could have gone lower, but the last I saw them was 6. And they're now sitting back at 7.8. They were at about 9.5. So I think all of this is incredibly bullish for the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And just for anyone who's struggling to understand, so I'll start with Mutant because I know that because I had one. If you owned a Mutant, you got 2,042 tokens. At today's value is roughly about 11 or 12 Ethereum. If you own, and that's if I just own a Mutant, which is what I do. I don't have a dog. If you own just a Bored Ape, you got 10,094 tokens, which is worth about 5 times that. So about 70, about $70,000, $80,000, which is quite incredible
Nice
at
little
today's value.
airdrop. Nice little
At
airdrop.
today, yeah, at today's value, not at yesterday's value. At yesterday's value, you only got $35,000. If you also had a Bored Ape Kennel Club with either your Bored Ape or your Mutant, you got about an additional 900 token, which is roughly at today's value about 4 Ethereum, at yesterday's value about 2 Ethereum as an extra bonus. That's obviously assuming you sold at these volumes. Otherwise, it's not completely meaningless, but until you get out, you haven't realized what it was. So that's just to give you an idea. But then, like I was saying, if you owned a Bored Ape, a Mutant Ape, and a kennel or 2 kennels, that's where you got your over $100,000, which is really, really very, very interesting, and quite an incredible way to come onto the token stage. I personally think that this token is going to have a lot of longevity, and I think that is going to be in the top 20, top 30 tokens long term, because these guys, the one thing that I keep thinking about is that there's 6,500 owners here, give or take. There's 12,000 unique owners here. That's 18 and a half. And there's 5,000 here. That's 24,000 people. That's not including Meebits, which they've bought, and CryptoPunks. Let's just talk about those. Those people own businesses. Those people are in the economy, right? So let's just say I'm a Bored Ape holder and I have a car dealership. I'd approach Bored Ape. I'm happy. I love my Bored Ape. I wear my Bored Ape shirt every day to work. I want to accept Bored Ape. You've got 24,000 businessmen, because maybe 20,000 businessmen and 4,000 criminals that 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 love this brand, that have just been gifted and are going to want to use this coin in their business, in their everyday life, are going to tell people about it. That there's no way that this isn't going to have utility from their perspective. On top of that, they're saying it's going to allow you to buy exclusive merch. It's going to be their basic to get anything going forward. They're going to be doing a shop in the metaverse with their land play, where everything's in ApeCoin. You'll be able to buy Bored Apes in ApeCoin on their marketplace. So on top of all that normal utility that we see in NFT projects for tokens, I do believe that this is going to be adopted and have as much real life utility as Bitcoin does once they get going. And Bitcoin doesn't have that much. They could overtake Bitcoin from an in real life utility perspective. So yes, I'm very bullish, and I have no idea why I sold.
ApeCoin becomes the new CBDC, the new CBDC.
You know what the play is here, unless you got $100 million and this is just it's chump change. You know what the play here should have been for me, because I didn't know it was going to go to 14, and I'm okay with my decision. It could have gone to 3, but the play should have been hedging my bets. I should have cashed in because I wanted to cash out. I should have cashed out half, and I should have held half. That would have been the conservative and the correct play. And this is what I will do next time a company like Bored Ape gifts me $14,000.
Yeah, I don't know how often that's going to happen.
Well, I think we saw it with NFT Worlds, not to this degree, but I got about 2 Ethereum over the 2 airdrops, so it does happen.
Yeah, for sure. I think you mentioned it. We didn't really talk about it a whole lot yet, but the fact that they're having their own land, their own metaverse. And that's going to be a definite competitor in the metaverse landscape, like moving forward as they develop it. Animoca Brands is working with them, and ApeCoin is going to be a very vital part of that entire ecosystem. So think of like Sand token with Sandbox, or Mana token with Decentraland, and that's literally just their metaverse play for the utility, right?
They've also got gaming plays coming up as well, which is tied into that. But that's also, I mean, they've got everything. They've got everything.
And they have the community behind it too, right? In crypto, whether it's NFTs or cryptocurrencies, community is huge. Like that's what pushes things forward. That's basically what's keeping Cardano alive right now, is its community, right? Like they're delivering on a lot of things for sure, but they get fudded into infinity. But the fact that there's such a strong Bored Ape community, and then the FOMO of people like me that want to get in on it and can't afford an ape, or can't even afford a dog at these prices, like, hey, maybe I put a little, like $1,000 into Ape token or something, and I can be part of the ecosystem and just see where that goes, right? So
That's
lots
that's
of
the that's really one of the most bullish sides of it. It releases the barrier to entry into this ecosystem, but the challenge for Bored Ape going forward is how they're going to separate Morland, who's put $1,000 into ApeCoin and is now a part of that ecosystem, versus Mr. X, who owns a Bored Ape and has held it all the way through. Does he get preference over the user who just buys in? And does he get preference over the mutant? And does the mutant get preference? So they've got to,
well, I
and
guess
they will.
it would make sense on how much token you hold, right? That's how the governance would work. However, like if the guy that holds the ape sold all their token, right? Like when it comes to the governance feature of that, they have really no say at the
For
end of
sure,
the,
on the
like,
DAO
right?
side and the governance,
Yeah.
but I'm saying,
Yeah.
as far as, let's say they want to do another airdrop of some land, let's just say,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
or now they're doing the land sale, which they've hinted is going to be around 1 ETH, and they want to give discounts to ape holders, mutant holders, dog holders, and token holders. They'll figure it out the same way they
Yeah.
figured out who's going to get what. But they've got to be careful, because they do have to make a
You
lot
can't.
more people happy than
Yeah,
they did before,
that's
right?
true.
I mean, at the moment, we've got 25,000 holders. It's not a huge amount, actually. Yeah, it's going to be, that should continue going up as people, slowly start selling a bit of it, at
Well,
least.
and it's not even available on exchanges as of
It
yet, I
is.
don't think. Well, for
It
like
is.
me, could I trade
Yeah.
on? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like
Uh,
Coinbase or something, I can.
yeah. They released, I think it was FTX first,
Okay.
but all of it was yesterday. They were the first coin that got on the exchanges this quickly in history. Like from launch, it
Yeah.
was like 8 hours, and FTX announced. I mean, we can jump onto their Twitter. They announced it each time. Another exchange opened up. The other exchange announced it. Like, we're proud to have Bored Ape, you know. Excuse whatever's going on there.
What is that?
I've got no idea. It just came up. Someone I'm
Three
following posted it. What is it?
3D mutant. 3D mutant.
Oh, shame. He's saying that they're stealing from people. Be careful. Shame. He lost his fat ape. I mean, it's, you can call an ape fat, right? You can't, like,
I
call
think
a
that's
person
okay.
fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
So it's like saying, hi, fat wife, not to my wife, I'm saying to someone's wife, hi to your fat wife, or something. You can't do that. But so it's definitely been launched on exchanges 100%. Which ones exactly, I do not know. But if you have a look here, and there's so much going on here, token is now open. This is from, no, Merca Brands. Definitely 100% on a couple of exchanges already. 100%.
Go to the
So,
ape.
yeah.
Go to the ApeCoin account. It might say. So like that was like
The Apecoin
their
Twitter. Yeah,
Twitter.
you're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're
Okay, let's have a
retweeting it.
look. But I'm 100% sure. I just don't know which ones. Apecoin Chinese. No,
Yeah, just go back. They were retweeting the Bored Ape account was retweeting it.
well, this Apecoin Chinese has got a lot of followers. I'm sure it's probably the official Chinese version. Let me just type Apecoin here if I see one without. Okay, I agree with you. Let's go back to where we were. Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yeah, right there. That's ApeCoin.
Okay. over here. Buy on MoonPay.
Well, there's all the swaps. That was Sushi Swap. Wait, scroll up.
Coinbase.
Coinbase. I think I saw crypto.com as well. Scroll up a little bit. Yeah,
Crypto.com.
crypto.com. Yeah.
Okay, so they are rolling out to all the main ones. I just want to remind anyone watching us, this is still a Freestyle Friday. So once we finished looking at this incredible news, which has really led to huge increases in the floors of most projects and is really good for the whole ecosystem, we're going to go and look at all the comments and chat and see what everyone's asking. So please don't be shy. Just other news, and then I think we'll move into Freestyle Friday, Moreland, unless you obviously want to say anything. But
no.
Obviously, we know, and we want to tell the viewers in case they don't know, that Yuga Labs has bought CryptoPunks, which was the OG of the space. We spoke numerous times about CryptoPunks versus Bored Ape, and they were trading as the top floor price versus the second. CryptoPunks really struggled because they didn't give commercial rights to their holders, so you couldn't reuse your ape, and a lot of people were very upset about that. Ended up selling out. I did say to you, Moreland, about 2 months ago, that if I was CryptoPunks, I'd give everyone rights immediately. Well, guess what? Yuga Labs, do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yuga Labs, and it's not like I'm a genius. I mean, it was just obvious. Yuga Labs bought CryptoPunks, they bought Meebits, and they ended up doing exactly that. Their very first tweet was, you now have complete commercial rights, and that has really led to a massive surge in their daily volume of both Meebits and CryptoPunks. And, my only concern, my very real concern, I don't know what laws are like in the States or whatever, but we have very, very strong anti-competition laws here, being that if two of the biggest players in any particular industry want to buy each other out or merge or whatever, if they control more than 80% of the market share or whatever, or 50, I don't know what the numbers are, they won't be allowed. The Competition Commission will not allow them to trade together. So I do think that there's a slight risk on that side, but I mean, I'm not on the level.
We're talking
Labs and
we're talking JPEGs here. I don't know if it extrapolates.
Well, you're talking about a company that's currently valued at $14 billion.
Yeah, I understand.
That's going to get the attention and people of a lot of people. And I don't know, where they're established. And listen, they've got very clever people and lawyers. I'm just saying, as a very small little speck
just
in
an
the ocean.
It's
something that I hope doesn't cause any problems. But yeah, very, very interesting, unbelievable. And I'm happy I sold because I didn't know what it was going to be. And I'm going to keep repeating that in the mirror until I cry myself to sleep in the fetal position.
Keep telling yourself that, Philip. Yeah, keep
I really do tell myself, and I'm trying to believe, is that at the time I did the best I could, knowing what I knew at the time.
Well, it's free money. It's free money, and well, not fully free. Bought a mutant, but still, it's free money, and you're able to get a pretty cool doodle with it too.
Why
not?
Could have gotten another doodle.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, if I sold the coin today, but that's the point. That's the point with me, is that I would have sold. If tomorrow goes to 20, I would have sold again. And if the next day goes, I mean, how can you say no to 15 ETH in free money?
Yeah.
For a 6 Ethereum investment like 3 months ago. Yeah. I don't know. I just can't. It's just too much money. I couldn't care if it was 0.1 ETH. Let it sit there. And the second it becomes 5, 10, freaking 15 Ethereum, I'm just like, no, I've got to get out before everyone gets out.
But that's the thing. They've built it so that it doesn't do that, right? Like I fully believe that thing is going to, that ecosystem they're building is just going to keep ticking along. For sure.
For sure. All right. So I do have a couple on my radar. I know what's a Toon Squad or Toon Town?
Toon Squad. That's Ben's mentioned that here in the comment. He minted Toon Squad.
Toon Squad. So I've got whitelets for them. I know they're minting. I'm just waiting to see. Before the show, I checked they'd sold about 1,500. And I know I've got 24 hours here, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just waiting to see. I am quite bullish on the project. Yeah, I mean, what's it, 1,700 now? I am quite bullish. I think, if I'm not mistaken, mint price is got it here in my diary here. What is it?
We don't
Team
need
squad.
everyone seeing your schedule.
Well, it's just got all the mints. It's just got all it's my NFT schedule. 0.06, 10,000 collection, 24 hours, guaranteed 2 mint spots. So there we go. So yeah, I mean, I'm watching it. There's no rush. I've got until tomorrow. But I am quite bullish on this project, but I'm obviously being cautious. The other one I know is minting is Pirate Pals, which I know they had a couple of delays. Pirate Pal, I see it there. Hold on. Yeah, so this
did they
this
mess up?
one's
Did something happen?
they had some delays. They said they were just auditing the contract, and then they're not too bad. An hour or two, not great, but not too bad. They've been open as long as Toon Squad has. Also a 10,000 collection, and again, we always say the floor price is irrelevant if nothing's been traded.
Yeah.
I could ask 100 Ethereum, then the floor price would be 100 ETH if I'm the only one. So there's nothing traded here. So this one I'm likely not to mint. I'm on whitelist.
Kabatsu is minting today.
No, that was yesterday.
They're still minting though. They're making some announcements. There's like 200 of them left. There's 200.
Are they going public?
They're going to go public at right now, I think, or something like that.
What is the total?
They made an announcement. Let me see here. There's literally only 250 of them left.
Well, I'm going to try mint.
I don't know if it. Let me first double check, because they made an announcement before we went live, and I was like, oh. It's a raffle. It's a raffle registration. I had to fill something out, and then they were gonna give that to at 4 o'clock. They were gonna give time for that. And then there'd be a public after that for anything that's left.
There'll be nothing left.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously a no-brainer at 0.3 when the floor price is 1.149.
Yeah.
Obviously that would have been a no-brainer. You got me a bit excited there.
I know. I know. I was hoping they were. I saw the time and I was thinking maybe we could do a live mint, but
it would have to hurry because we need to put gas right up there. The other ones that we had that I know are the Brainiacs. They're also minting now. Let's have a look. Then we've also got Kaiju Kongs, not related to Kaiju Kings, but I have heard quite a few people excited about that one, even though on the face of it, without looking into it, it seems like a derivative. How do you spell Brainiac? Brainiac.
IACS.
I've got it, yeah. The Brainiacs.
Let's see.
Also, only about 380 minted. At least they got a bit of volume.
How many were?
There's 8,888. Look, I think people are very brave with collection sizes this size in the market. But those are the 3 that I know are minting now. And then I also know that there's some coming up later. We got Tota. And then we got Froggy Friends. I mean, as I showed you guys on my Alpha one, I've got a lot of whitelist. I check all of them and end up leaving 9 out of 10 Discords 6 hours into it when I realize that it's not really gonna look. It doesn't mean just because it doesn't mint out that in 6 months it might not be successful. It just means it might take 6 months, and I'd rather deploy that ETH elsewhere.
And you gotta have tough skin if you get into a project like that, because there's gonna be people all the time coming in and just fudding it, and it's gonna get ups and downs, and it could be tough, right? Like,
yeah,
it could take a while for them to mint out. It could take a while for them to establish any kind of floor price. Me and Philip have been there with I
was going to say, it sounds like you're talking from experience there.
Yeah. Just don't get too attached, guys. Don't get too attached.
You know what happens? I think if it's your first or second project,
Yeah.
it tends to have a lot of emotional connection and all of that. I've had to remove my emotions, and on new projects, especially ones where I've just got on whitelist, I haven't really investigated them and they seem crap, but I want to check it out just in case there's a flip opportunity. That's the extent of it. I'm not meaning Toon Squad. I'm actually quite excited about that one. But yeah, the other ones I'm not so sure of, but they seem decent. I don't want to be. I think to keep your collection size over 5,000, no matter who you are in this environment, it's not the right move at the moment, in my opinion.
Or unless you have like some sort of multiple drop strategy or something, and it's very well thought out, because yeah, you're right.
Sounds like you're talking from experience.
Yeah. Again, yeah. So there's been a few like 10,000 collections recently that minted out, but it's rare,
Yeah,
right?
so Wonder Pals and Star Catchers, and the hype of the hype of the hype, really.
Yeah, they need a lot of that hype. It's tough these days.
For sure. So just a reminder to everyone, Freestyle Fridays, feel free to ask anything. In the meantime, let's have a look at the last 24 hours. What's trending? We've got Bored Ape Yacht Club number 1, Mutant Ape number 2. Azuki has really bounced back. They were sitting at as low as 8.5, and in the last 48 hours, they've come back 50%. I mean, that's a great deployment of capital right there. Again, if you had a crystal ball, but still, that's really 50% in a day or two is incredible. We got our crypto punks, which I think everyone's just confused that it's got no floor price because it's listed on a different exchange, but it still shows here. Very weird. No one knows the floor ever. But nice to see them in the top spot again, obviously as a result of their new owners. Under that, you got Bored Ape Kennel Club. I'm interested to see what happens here, because the only utility that these have was the airdrop multiplier. Not really a multiplier. You got about 900 tokens extra. So now that that's no longer there, I'm going to be interested to see what they do with it. I'm sure Yuga Labs will do something with it because they don't want any of their collections going to zero. We then have Clone X, and they're sitting at 13.5. So, they've recovered from 11. Something I was thinking about in the shower, Morland. Do you want to hear?
Yes, please.
I was thinking that Clone X is following Bored Ape's footsteps with their airdrops. So, just as we saw with Bored Ape, as you bought, literally a month later, you got a free dog. And literally 2 months later, we're seeing and we're seeing the same with Clone X. And it wouldn't surprise me if they were following that playbook. I mean, if you come into a space and you want to be successful and you've got unlimited budget, you're going to say, okay, who's the biggest or the biggest 2 or 3? What are they doing? Yeah. And you're going to study that, and I do see the similarities here a lot. Reward your holders. That's it. Reward them, especially if you've got the budget. Yeah. You're a big multinational company. Reward them. Give them 5 ETH airdrops like they have been doing. Give them 1 ETH pods. Give them. Make them love you. Make them talk about you. And that's what Bored Ape has done, and that's what Clone X is doing. So, if you had to say to me, what am I most bullish on? It's without Azuki, just because for me, I don't understand it enough. I know a lot of people love it. It's very new, and I just don't know enough about it. But for me, it would be Bored Ape, and then, crypto is in the same basket now, and then Clone X for sure. And then maybe Doodles as 3 for me, because they forging their own path completely different to anyone else in the space. And you saw that with their recent airdrop.
Space Doodles. And
which is not its own NFT. You can go and dock your doodle into the space doodle, and that becomes its own NFT. We've never seen a mechanism like that before. And not just that, just everything they do is really, really their own path, which is great. So we see these projects up here. I don't see my doodles. Oh, there they are. Yeah.
Have you heard about Raid Party?
Yeah, of course. P2E game.
Yeah, it's like they call it an idle MMO. game, so it must be. I haven't really looked into it, to be honest. This is one, so I wouldn't be able to give a full explanation on it, but is it, it's doing, like, is it, when did it
So,
mint?
so I minted about 2 months ago. If it serves me right, you get your heroes, and then you get your fighters. I did recently see a chart on projects that are currently, and this changes all the time, that are currently giving back for holding or staking, and they were number 3 on the list, just under Metaverse.
Really?
So there is some staking mechanism or reward mechanism in it. Maybe you don't have to actually stake it to get it. I would imagine you do, but I also haven't looked into it too much in depth.
I'm just on
There's
their
the fighters.
website. I'm on their website, and so there's your fighters have different classes and deal different types of damage based on the class. And the more damage they deal when they're staked, earn you more yield of their token. So based off your NFT's stats, that will give you more of a yield within the staking game.
And that's why you're seeing the heroes that used to be at a higher floor. You
You
look at
can
one
use
ETH, then
you
the fighters are now at a higher floor than the heroes.
and you can use that token to upgrade your heroes or buy new heroes, like make new NFTs. Interesting. So
What
it's
does
kind of,
MMO
it's like a
mean?
farming MMO is massive online multiplayer.
I
Or
don't think massive doesn't sound right.
no, there's
It could be major.
no, I'm pretty sure.
Well, look, I don't know. I'm just you, the gaming guy. MMO,
Massive
define.
multiplayer online game.
But it doesn't. Yeah, so an online game, well-made fantasy MMO. It doesn't matter what it actually stands for. What does it like mean? What is an
It
MMO?
means it's large. It's a big game that everyone plays.
Oh wow,
That it's like,
massively,
yeah, I
massively.
told you.
It
Yeah,
just doesn't sound
I
posh
told
enough
you.
for an
Oh,
acronym.
that's what it is. I
Massively,
told you.
massively is not even a word. Massively
Massive
multiplayer online game.
online
Maybe
game. There's a
massive.
lot of people online that play it. Yeah.
No, that's fine. I've just, you know me. I've got strengths and weaknesses. I don't know the gaming side very
Yeah.
well,
Oh, I
but
know
I've
these.
never.
I know these things, chat. I
I
know
know
World
that's why
of
I was asking you.
Warcraft.
I wasn't like asking you for the exact wording. I just want to understand in theory. So it's just a big multiplayer game, like
Yeah,
Minecraft is
like
an
the
MMO.
idea, no, like World of Warcraft is one.
Okay.
Minecraft is a little bit different.
You can see. So here's your Kibatsu that we saw. You got Doodles, three landers. Also, as far as new projects go, one of the most bullish, and charting their own path. I see them as a new Doodle. And I don't imagine them to jump to 20 ETH or 10 ETH or 15 ETH overnight. Remember, Doodles sat at 1 ETH for months, bro. So I'm not saying as far as a flip goes, but long term, I'm quite bullish on three landers also. And then we've got
Yeah.
GNSS that we covered yesterday. Sorry, Molly.
Oh no, I was just gonna say Freelanders is a really good. I like it a lot. I
Yeah,
love
me
that
too.
project. The art is cool, and yeah,
We've
great
got the
project.
GNSS, that one we covered yesterday, which morphs, and you can choose how you want to mint it by the owners of. One of the founder is someone involved in the artifact team for Clone X. Then Gutter Cat Gang has really jumped today. They were about
Is that
six and a
because of
half.
the gutter juice stuff, or
No, they jumped
anything to
already
do with
because of
that?
that, and then they sort of came down. I do think we're seeing all these projects jump because of the liquidity that's come into the market as a result of Ape. So if you look here, the top collections over the last 7 days, these are the big blue chips in the space in the last 7 days, but a lot of the blue chips are here. Everything is up. Okay, data sales. But that's 7 day. It's not up. But from yesterday when we looked at it, it was at 1. Hey, if I remember correctly, data
Yeah, it
sales.
was 0.9. It
Yeah.
was at
So that's
0.99 yesterday.
that's a newer collection, but everything else is up. And if we look at the last 24 hours, okay, so Bored Ape, Mutant, Bored Kennel, we know why, because people dumped after they sold their mutants, Bored Apes, and Kennels after they claimed. Azuki in the last 24 hours is up. That percentage is wrong. It's not 360% up. CryptoPunks is up. Clone X is up. Chemistry Club is up. Three Landers is up. Doodles is up. Kiabatsu, this new collection. Gutter Cats is up a lot, you see, but not as much as that. Fantabase seems to be coming back.
Yeah, it's one
Yeah,
that I don't know a whole lot about, that I haven't really looked into.
I
But
just remember they really pumped. Yeah, Rubber Duck Bath Party has got their first bath party this weekend. We should see a bit of a
that'll
pump.
be interesting to see what happens
I've
with
listed
them.
mine at 0.21.
Okay.
No, it's going back down. It went as high as 0.15 a bit earlier. I just imagine that there's going to be quite a pump. Like if you said to me, Philip, I'm going to go have a bath party with my duck, and I'm like, what's that? And you tell me, and I'm like, well, I want to come with. So how do I come with? Well, I'll go into OpenSea and buy a floor duck. So I thought there'd be a bit of a pump. Maybe
Well,
there still will be.
maybe a lot of people within the rubber duck bath party ecosystem might be getting excited about it, but personally, I don't know. I don't know. I like the NFT and I like what they're doing, but I don't know if I'm gonna go out and grab one right now just because their first bath party's happening. Like I might
Yeah.
see what happens with that first, see how it goes, see how
So what's
people's
going to be?
NFTs come back, right? Like,
Yeah,
and what happens after that? Like, does it start pumping? Like, do
it
these new
might
one
dump
do
because
or
imagine
yeah
you go to the bath party and you lose your favorite character trait. Like if you love this one because of the snorkel, and then you go to the bath party and you end up getting drunk and losing the snorkel, then
yeah.
you're gonna come back tomorrow and be very upset and sell him,
Well,
right?
that's what I mean with everything.
Yeah,
But somebody else that has one that has nothing might come out with some rare ones, and then they can flip it for. It is interesting the way they've
it's gonna
done
be
it. Like,
interesting to see what happens.
yeah, the way that they've structured it, right? Like it.
This looks like my late grandmother.
Uh, are you gonna buy it?
No, I'm selling it. That's me selling it. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
uh,
Joking. All right, let's go back to the top
yeah,
top chart. We got gutter
yeah,
cut. Yeah,
Dope's just dope in the chats, just mentioning the historical significance of the duck party. It's definitely one that we haven't seen before. Different,
yeah,
unique way of doing rarities and metadata and all that. It's cool.
yeah. There is that significance for sure. 10k 10k TF. Very very interesting with what's going on here,
That
Morland.
Gucci stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
You can put your ape into Gucci, and it's a brand new NFT that you can then do what you want with. Is that the idea?
that's the idea. The interesting thing is that if you own the passes, which I actually think now, just so that everyone knows, you had until the 18th. Yeah, it's the 18th. I don't know exactly what time, but if you don't use your pass by the 18th, there's no use for it. So you could buy, previously, you could buy up to 6 passes and then get 6 different versions of your ape, either mutant or bored ape. There was also other collections. World of Woman was
I
part of
think
that.
Oni
Omniforce was
Force
part of
was
it.
one.
And then it's
Yeah.
going to be its own collections. And, it's very interesting to see whether people are going to look at them as derivatives, which they're not, or look down upon them, or embrace them as an entry point to have a legitimate ape with a legitimate Gucci outfit, all buy Bored Ape and buy Gucci, and be able to maybe buy that for 2 or 3 Ethereum. Maybe that will
What does that
tick
get
some
you?
boxes.
What would that get you though, right? Like, let's say you bought this, wrapped your mutant in Gucci, and then sold it. And that person that bought it, that was their one and only entry into having a mutant ape? Like, are they now part of Bored Ape and
No,
mutant? Like, okay, so
no, they are part of the Gucci ecosystem, not the
okay,
Bored Ape ecosystem. But
okay.
you must remember with Janky Haste when they did this Gucci drop, those sat at a 10, 15 ETH floor. Now,
Mhm.
granted, there was only a small collection size of 500. Here, there's going to be about 2,500, I think, of the Bored Apes. It's a guess, but I would
Yeah,
imagine that's how many people actually knew about this and bought into it and whatever. Maybe what 10%, 5%, 15%, somewhere. I
yeah,
mean, um, but how? My thing is that if I take my mutant and I put him in Gucci, I don't want to sell him because I don't want you coming on the show tomorrow. Not you, but anyone coming,
yeah.
and we,
And I got your
at the
ape.
convention, we at VCon, and you've got a massive picture of my ape in Gucci, and I'm like, hold on, that's my ape, and I know you sold it to me.
Yeah,
I don't know, and how are you going to feel having one that is in Gucci
is
that everyone knows is not part of the Bored Ape,
yeah.
ecosystem? So look, it's interesting. Um, if I had a Bored
Depends
Ape,
what they do with them too, right? Like afterwards, is that it? That's all? I just
yeah,
have this,
yeah.
right? Like it's a JPEG now.
Yeah,
Like
because remember, 10,
Unless because I hold this, Gucci starts giving me discounts or in their stores or starts giving me more airdrops and stuff or
yeah.
whatever, right?
So I don't know. I don't know the extent of Gucci's taking this forward, just because they did it with Super Yankee. Now they're doing it here. I don't think this is their main play into the space. I think they're feeling things out.
They're just testing.
10K TF. Do you remember the collection? It was backpacks and shoes
They
and
do
things.
yeah, they do the
I'm trying to
metaverse
find it.
wearables and stuff. Yeah.
I hate the search on OpenSea so much. It's only
Yeah, I
showing
can never
these.
find them.
Maybe if I say here with a space, no, nothing. But yeah, I mean, and those the highest floor price has been like point 0.3, point 0.4.
Hmm.
So I don't know. If I had a Bored Ape valued at 100 Ethereum, I do think that those might be over this price, two, maybe even three. A mutant, I don't know so much. That's a fifth of the value, and a only force, I would not go near it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
serious.
No,
Yeah,
I know.
unless the value of the first NFT, that's going to depreciate. You're not going to get 100 ETH for a Gucci ape like you would for a Bored Ape. We all know that. The question is, how much is it going to be less? What percentage of that 100 ETH is it going to be less than the actual 100 ETH? Is it 1%? We're sitting at 1 ETH. 10%? We're sitting at 10 ETH. And
Hmm.
that's what no one knows at the moment.
Yeah. I just want to see what they look like too. That'll be cool.
Apparently, they look like shit.
Really?
Yeah,
They've
apparently
revealed
it looks
some?
like
They
they.
have.
Yeah, no, in the previews or something,
Oh,
I
the
heard
previews.
other YouTuber that I was watching saying that it looks like they literally copied and pasted Gucci something and stuck it on your ape. I don't know,
I
bro. That's what I heard. It's
I
hearsay,
could
but I
care
mean,
less. I could care less about Gucci anyways, so
yeah. But let me ask you this: if it was a brand that resonates with you, like your favorite brand, would you pay half an ETH for a mutant ape, a legitimate mutant ape that's been dressed in that, not under the mutant ape ecosystem, but under the Vans? Are you a Vans guy?
no, like okay, let's say Nike, Jordan, something like that.
Okay, so
Uh,
Nike we can't because it's hard to imagine because they're already in space.
yeah,
Jordan, isn't that also
it's
Nike?
Nike. That's Nike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you
I don't
like
know.
Billabong or
No, man.
you come across as like a skater guy to me a bit?
No, I can't skate
Am
at
I
all.
wrong?
No, no, no. I snowboard. I used to snowboard, but
Okay, so what's a
uh
snowboarding brand?
I don't keep up with the brands, man. I'm anti-brand. I just spend all my money on JPEGs. No, but like I to your
It's a
question,
theory, yeah.
like that's tough, right? Like I already said, it depends on what I get out of it, right? Like I don't get to be part of the Bored Ape ecosystem, so
But you
that
get to be
sucks.
part of
But
another
I
ecosystem that you
right.
like.
So what's the plan, right? Like
And what's the extent?
I'm
Yeah.
personally not buying it so I can have a Gucci or a whatever X brand, like whatever your favorite brand is, I'm not buying it for that. I'm buying it because I might get airdropped another, like, 1 ETH value thing or half or whatever it is, right?
We'll
Like,
be able to stake it and
is
claw back.
is there a roadmap, or am I just
Yeah.
buying hype clothing?
Yeah. Well,
Hype clothing.
I think you're completely right. It depends what Gucci's plan is for the utility for this collection going forward, right?
Yeah, exactly.
100%. I was just thinking of it as a quick flip, whether there's an opportunity to do it. So I haven't
This
looked into it at all.
collection, this one has
So
the
thank you
potential
to Dickens and thank you
yeah,
for pointing this out to us.
this has the
Yeah,
potential to be huge. Like,
but it's not, and it's been around for
no,
so
I know,
long.
I know, but get like more and give it a little more time. Like, I really do think that somebody will come in and recognize what they're doing, right? Like, Nike bought Artifact not because of CloneX. They bought them because of what they're doing with their metaverse stuff and their wearables
Yeah.
and what they've created there. This is the exact same thing. Like, once
Yeah.
they start expanding
On
past,
accessories, they are the first. I agree with you. You're so right. They are the first accessories, virtual
yeah,
accessories. Can these be used in the metaverse, or are they just
yes,
JPEGs at this point?
I think they can. From my understanding, they're metaverse
Well, if
ready,
not, I'm sure they'll make them metaverse ready
or
and
they
drop them
will be.
anyway. Yeah,
Exactly.
let's
Yeah.
just read it here. 10 KTF is a limited collection of items carefully crafted by Wagnisam to go along.
Bless
Excuse
you.
me.
Oh.
You can see it's live. Gives collections ability to create unique digital assets by creating one-of-a-kind shoes, apparel, and other goods in the spirit of their avatar. Only the owners of certain existing NFTs can mint. So it doesn't mention yet, but I'm sure that will be in the future. And you're right. They are the first accessories shop in the NFT world, at least,
But
right?
like, and those look good, right? Like,
Yeah. And if you
why
own,
wouldn't you as a
if
brand
you
want?
own this mutant, you would want this. I would want this, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that's how they created it, right? That mutant owner created
Yeah,
that
but since
backpack.
then he's sold and I've bought. I'm saying if
Yeah.
I couldn't do it at the time, or I didn't do it at the time, but if I saw my guy on here now, just talking on the secondary sale, I would want to buy it. Do you think my guy's
Right.
here?
I don't know.
Do these
It
guys?
would be the number, the matching mutant number. So whatever
How do
yours
I know
is,
my mutant number?
go to your collection. It will say, or yours
Okay,
is on your ledger, right?
but I still like it in my normal collection. Let's not close that. Let's not close that. Let's close that. If I go to my profile, anything that I've staked or moved across to a different wallet, I always make it a favorite so I can check on it, right? So there's my invisible friend, there's my Clone X, there's my doodle. Where's my NFT worlds, my Chibi Genesis, which I saw was 3 ETH the other day. Incredible. I really like them. Okay, so here's number 9964. Okay, so if I type 9964 here, let's see what accessories someone has done for my. Oh.
None. No one's done the hard work for you.
And let's see if we go to their website, if Wagmi's shop is open. I'm sure his shop is closed because he's so busy with bloody Gucci at the moment. Please sit down and have some tea. No, thank you. Why don't you want to connect your MetaMask wallet? Because it's a ledger. No, thank you. No, it's not going to work. Not going to work. And then it might say what items he has if you connect and you have one of the mutants or pudgy penguins or Only Force or whatever, right?
Yeah. That's cool. Really.
My only concern with this collection is that he looks really, really old. And if the shop owner passes, who's going to run the 10KT?
It's decentralized, Philip. We the people run it.
All right, so that's interesting to watch. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with those collections. So I do know a lot of guys were buying the mint pass at 1 Ethereum, and the play was they were going to wait and see before using the pass what the, let's just say for me, mutant floor was of that, and then either sell it without using it or use it and get money out, right? That
Yeah.
was their plan.
Yeah.
But then they came out and said, and it was right at the claim time, we'll be revealing and populating it all in 6 days' time.
Oh
So
man.
that
So
that
no
play
quick
got,
flips and shut
yeah,
that down for the degens.
for sure, for
That's
sure. Well,
funny.
Moreland, I mean, we couldn't, even though it was Freestyle Friday, we couldn't not talk about Bored Ape, Bored Ape, Bored Ape. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
incredible.
They
Um,
really do push the whole NFT space forward, right? Like as much as people want to try and find the next Bored Ape Yacht Club, like there is gonna only be one, and it's kind of like what Bitcoin does with the crypto markets. Like what happens with Bitcoin happens with everything else. What happens with Bored Ape happens with everything else. It, it's so
so ApeCoin might
interesting.
take over Bitcoin. I'm
No, I
not
don't
saying
think so.
immediate. I'm saying over time. I don't know. I don't know how I could be so
You'd
bullish
have
on this
to
thing
you'd
and
have to
sell it
really be
immediately.
super bullish into the ape ecosystem for that to happen, I think.
Look, if honestly, Moreland, if you start seeing this widely accepted as a currency,
Yeah.
and they're also in the metaverse, they also have land, they also have a game coming out, they also have the NFT
Do
space. I
they
mean,
have the ability, like they're able to be used, like that's part of they're able to just be picked up and used by local whoever to
well,
accept
I
as
imagine I could just take my wallet, my app, and I can send it as long as, let's just say, Tesla now says they're accepting it. As long
yeah,
as the guy behind the counter at Tesla has got a account that I can send it to, an ApeCoin
yeah,
wallet or
yeah,
wallets at all. It
MetaMask, a
doesn't even have to,
MetaMask.
yeah, even a
Yeah,
MetaMask. You
yeah.
could just send it. They'll accept that as a form of payment. Now, they haven't said that. They've said that with the one place. But look, I mean, I know I'm not talking immediate. I'm just saying Bitcoin's the king now. 10 years, 20 years, I'm not even saying ApeCoin. Who cares? Something might take it over. It's very interesting because MySpace was the king of social media. And
Yeah.
now then was Facebook, and now it's TikTok, right? So it doesn't always continue forever in perpetuity, that the first mover always retains that top spot.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Apple is a perfect story. They were up and then they were completely down. Nokia is probably the best story. Everyone had a Nokia. Then BlackBerry. I mean, when last did you see someone taking out their
Yeah.
BlackBerry?
BlackBerry. Yeah.
So
True.
it's going to be interesting. I believe Bored Ape's going to be king of the club forever, but I also know that I thought Nokia was going to be there forever.
You never know. That's exactly
Never
it.
know.
If only we had a crystal ball.
But I don't think that there's a chance that Bored Ape Yacht Club tomorrow is going to go to zero. I don't.
No, definitely not. No,
Yeah, there
definitely,
always is
definitely
a
not.
chance. I mean, who knows? So something could come out and
There was some
blow them up.
there was some like Twitter spaces happening where they were calling Bored Ape a rug. They were calling the coin a rug pull and like just like farming views, right? Like
It's so
just
stupid.
using clickbait stuff like that to get views. But yeah, like people legitimately saying that, this is a rug pull and don't get into Ape coin. And it's like, are you dumb? They've got a $5 billion business backing this
Yeah.
thing. Like
That valuation of 5 billion, which was a fair valuation, was before they
all of
owned
this, yeah.
CryptoPunks and
Yeah.
Newbits, and before they had successfully launched their token that's sitting at 14, 15, fucking probably $25 now. I told you, first of all, anyone who held must thank me, because anytime I sell something, it goes up, and anytime I buy something, it goes down. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. If I had to buy in now, I promise you, if I had to buy in right now, it would drop. I swear to God, that's how it
Well,
works.
next time I'm gonna put in a buy order. I'll let you know. You
And
go ahead
I'll
and buy,
sell.
yeah, or you
Yeah,
buy, and then I'll wait for the dip to come, and then
yeah,
I'll buy
yeah. And
in,
then you
and
buy.
then yeah,
Exactly,
we'll time it
exactly,
that way.
100%. Morland, always a pleasure. Everyone, thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking your time to be with us. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If you haven't already, please come join our Discord. If you're watching us on any other platform and you're not sure where to find our Discord, just come to our YouTube channel, type the NFT show on YouTube, and you'll see all our links are there. And have a good weekend, guys. I think it's going to be a good weekend from an NFT side. I really, really do. A bit of bulls out there is good. How long it lasts, it depends on Putin.
We just wait and see, I guess, right?
Depends
All
on
right, guys.
Putin.
Yeah, really, a lot of things do, unfortunately. Well,
Right,
see
guys.
everyone next week. Have a great weekend,
Monday.
guys.
All right, chaps. Thank you.
Peace.
Ciao.